Dave, what's your favorite sport of all time?
Oh man, football.
Is it actually though? Because mine is. I'm an American football specific fan.
It is as of the last several years, I would say. So yeah.
Well, then you're in luck. And everyone's in luck, actually, because, thank you for listening, American Underdog, Kurt Warner's story.
In honor of the start of the NFL season, we decided to review a football movie, and this one came out in 2021.
Yeah, it was by the Errol brothers, and I think this is, you could arguably call Kurt Warner the best undrafted player of all time.
That's what some say. Yeah, I think it's hard to argue with, considering the story and what he accomplished. Like, it's pretty impressive. So
there's not too much of a spoiler to be made about this movie. We're gonna jump into it, but tell me a little more about this old film there, Davey.
Rated PG, the first PG movie we have reviewed. Nice. 152 minutes, an hour and 52 minutes. By the Erwin brothers, as you mentioned, and it's based on Kurt Warner's book, which he co-wrote with Michael Silver, called All Things Possible. Stars Zachary Levi as Kurt Warner, Anna Paquin as his wife. Dennis Quaid makes a brief appearance as his coach for at the time, the St. Louis Rams. And the LA Rams just won the Super Bowl last season, so kind of timely.
Interesting, too, how the franchise now has two separate, titles. Or, yeah, two titles, but with two separate names.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Estimated $25 million budget. Didn't do so well. $26.5 million was what I got for the gross. So just kind of eked out what it made, or what it cost.
Came out during COVID time, didn't it?
It did, yeah. So I think it came out. It was shot in Oklahoma City around the end of January in 2021. I think it came out last summer, pretty much. I remember wanting to see it at the time, but just never got around to it. So. But again, yeah, story of the NFL MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, who went from stocking supermarket shelves to becoming an NFL star and winning a Super Bowl. So if you want an underdog story, I think that's a pretty good one.
Okay, so that's the underdog story, but what do you actually feel about that movie? What do you like, what don't you like?
Oh, I thought it was going to be more of a football movie. And it focused, I think, as we mentioned, a lot more on his family, how he met his wife, her extenuating circumstances, being a single mother. And, I mean, Kurt Warner's a hell of a human being, just so much confidence in himself, so kind, so thoughtful, knows what he wants, kind of goes out there and does it, and has his doubts, but kind of just sticks to the path. And I mean, ultimately he succeeds. And so learning about him, I'd known his name for a long time, but never really knew this background to him. So hearing all this stuff, it's incredibly impressive. It's kind of, I'm sure every little boy in America kind of grows up thinking, I'm going to be an NFL star, and few do, but he overcame a lot of adversity to make it happen. And so that aspect was cool. Just found it kind of got bogged down in a lot about his relationship with his wife and his family. And I wanted to see a bit more football. And so that's me.
I was pretty much the same way. Not that it wasn't important. It's a beautiful story. Single mother too, trying to raise them, trying to make ends meet, and then this is also a guy that he isn't making a lot of money. He's trying to chase his dreams, but he's looking after them, and he gives it a lot, and he's just a caring, loving guy. But I played American rural football in BC. I love the sport a lot. I wanted to watch men in tights being physically violent with each other on the field.
Yeah.
So it was a great movie, lots of excitement, but I wanted to see more.
Yeah.
I really did want to see more.
And it's about balance too, right? Had they, I think, balanced more of the family stuff with more football, I think it would have been good. I just don't think they got that ratio right, especially towards the end. I think it jumped ahead on a lot of the important games. And I thought they could have taken their time with that.
Yeah, I think really getting down to the details, what I loved about the football scenes, so from him in with the Panthers, the North Iowa Panthers, with him going to the arena football, with him going to the Rams, or even with Green Bay, it was great to see the different coach dynamics, because there's a lot of different methods of teaching, some positive in certain ways, some not positive. So it was really cool to see the different coaches, the way they taught, and then they kind of explain why they did what they did. And it was also for example, the North Iowa Panthers, when he's there, he doesn't stay in the pocket. He likes to leave a lot. And the coach made him you stay in the pocket, and in order to make him a starter, made him stay and get tackled multiple times and had his O-line leave him open just to teach him that no matter what, you stay in the pocket. And you say, oh, that's difficult, that's ridiculous. But it taught him a lesson that you stay in the pocket no matter what. In the arena football, coach taught him, be quick. You got to throw quicker. You got to throw quicker. And then with the Rams, you have to take your time, but also be quick. And also, you have to understand it's not just about you. You have to put other people in good positions, and you have to think about it as a greater game and not be full of yourself.
And you got to be ready when time calls, right? Like the reason Kurt Warner was able to be who he was and win that Super Bowl is, the quarterback got hurt and he had to step up, and he, one of his offensive coach, I think, right? He was giving him a hard time since he got there, told him he didn't think he could make it, and that kind of put him through the ringer. But it made him prepared, in some way for the big moment and for him to succeed in that moment. So yeah.
Definitely some cheesy times for it, but even though it was cheesy, a lot of cheesy things are motivating. So you watch the story and you think, oh yeah, this lesson. But when you're actually in that moment and when you see it happen in the moments, for me, it was a motivating film to remind me, you know what, if I really want, like right now, balancing after my weight, that's what I'm trying to do watching this movie. I'm like, you know what? Kurt Warner can do all that. Stock grocery store shelves. Like, look after a family that isn't even his own, fall in love, and still pursue his dream. I can eat more vegetables. You know what I mean? It's a motivating feeling. Yeah. It's great.
It's definitely a feel-good movie. I think it's definitely a movie you could take the whole family to, and everyone's going to get something out of it.
So when it comes down to it, what I want to know, what's your score?
I think... again, it's the first PG movie we have reviewed. I'd give it, for me, a 6. Again, I wanted more football. I appreciate the hell out of Kurt Warner. I enjoyed learning a bit about his background and seeing his rise to fame and success. Don't know what was going on with Anna Paquin's hair in that movie, but just wanted more football as well. A nice balance of that, so I'll give it a 6.
And you know what? It's more than half. It's a pretty decent bush. Good trimming on it. I've been tossing and turning because, as it is known, I'm a pretty easy point giver. But I want to go with the 6.5. I'm going to give it a 6.5. My reason being, it was a great, heartwarming movie, but it was not enough football for me. Even during the Super Bowl moments, I think there was 9 minutes left in the movie. There's a few minutes left for the credits. And the Super Bowl, they didn't play it out too well. It was a lot more about the family and the build up to it. So as a football fan, specifically an American football fan, I wanted to see more football. Yeah. But overall, great movie, very motivating.
Yeah, football seemed rushed kind of, and just not enough. So that's my 2 cents on it.
And spoiler alert, the Rams won that Super Bowl.
Yep.
So that's a spoiler if you haven't seen it.
And your team won this past weekend.
Oh, yeah, the Saints. I'm excited.
My team did not.
Yeah, Green Bay. But it was against Minnesota, and Minnesota's playing well, so you can't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, no. We'll figure it out, so.
But who dat nation? Go Saints. I'm wearing a Saints shirt right now.
I should have worn a jersey.
I know you're wearing a Phoenix Suns jersey. Not that it isn't a good shirt.
Wrong sport, wrong color.
I'm not even wearing a jersey. I'm just wearing a t-shirt. But you know what? You're a Packers fan. I'm a Saints fan. But what unites us all is the love of the sport.
Amen.
That's all we got for you. This is a little quick one for you. Thank you for listening. And no cameo of L Train today. Maybe next pod. Okay. Craving a movie podcast with wicked wit and sizzling style?
Look no further. Dean and Dave Do Movies is your ticket to nonstop cinematic fun.
Don't miss a beat. Rate us 5 stars, subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts,
and share our show with fellow film fanatics.